Hey,
I
everybody.
know.
How'd I do? How'd I do, Squatchy? Am I late? I'm going to go through some hellos and see if Ed shows up or if he's still petting his cat. Um, First in the door was Excalikev. Hello, hello. Depth Charge. Sketty Nona. Uncle Smiley. Max Cat. Hello, hello. There's the doc. Hello, everybody from my bed. Yep, he's got a little bit of an ouchy back. So the doc will probably not be joining us tonight.
It's gonna hit the dock. Move some rocks, but I guess that's off the table.
The doc needs a doc. There's Sutton Road. Hello, hello. There's Chris Aquazone. Xanadu. Benji. Cinnamon Girl. What's going on, kid? Kid. You. And Denny. Hello, hello. And through the advice of several people, more than a handful, less than a dozen, I'm going to have to turn that off. Hold on, please. We are just going to stop at the hellos at this point, and I'll just give you a nod when you come in. Where's my notifications? I got to turn that crap off. There.
You don't like your phone dinging every time someone in a group chat responds to
Yeah,
anything?
right. I've got so many group chats that they're all going off on a Saturday night.
Anytime I'm added to a group chat, first thing I do is settings, disable notifications. Yeah. Okay, now I'm good.
And I only do the group ones for us because I'm like, it's easier than just sending out multiple.
I got no problem with group chats. I don't like to be let known when it, because sometimes you get like two people going back and forth. And it's like,
yeah.
Like I got the phone near me. I can see if there's an orange dot. I'll go check and see. What's being.
I'll get there eventually.
Might be a slight delay, but I'll get it.
So I was thinking tonight, although we lost our Nano guys, so you're going to have to cover the Nano. I know you can do it a little bit.
Technically, Whip, I think you have to represent the Nano tanks.
Oh yeah, because I got Zenny. Oh, I did it already. I already blew my. Hello, Zenny. Yeah, you're probably right because I don't have a 4,500 gallon tank, and I do have rainbows and cherry barbs.
I do have the 125 gallon Nano, so I could use that as a reference.
Yeah, see, you can help out me. You can help me out a little bit. Thanks, Kev. Kev did a drive-by on my property. He was down in the same town that I am a property owner down in Tennessee, and he did a drive-by.
Did he hit anybody?
But yeah, what?
You say he drove by. Did he get anybody? Did he hit anybody?
Yeah, there's nobody up there to hit. Hey, Sue, nah, don't be doing that to me.
Marshmallow Whip.
Yeah, that was a primetime aquatics thing that took place. I was hoping that would just kind of be forgotten. Clearly not. But yeah, I was just, because, I don't really do Nano. I do a little bit of Nano. Not really. I don't have Nano tanks. My smallest tank is a 20 high or 20 standard. And I know Ed has some smaller ones.
Yeah, compared to nature, they're all Nano.
Right? So. Yeah, right. But I don't really scape because the fish I keep, and you too, kind of, although you do a much better job at scaping than I do. They don't really allow me to do any escaping. This tank right here, just for example, you can see. Can you see that down? Yeah, I mean, they dug it down to the bottom of the glass, and it doesn't matter how many times they fix it. They just dig it out again. And I put plants, fake plants, but plants, and they either pull them up out of the substrate or they destroy them. I have a flower horn upstairs that I put in some really tall plants that hide the hardware, like the heater and the I bought the Shark Pros, and he's just pulling them apart. Like every day I come in and there's a big chunk of plastic plant floating around in there. So, you're just kind of, son of a.
Can I derail for a second? I'm always curious about those internal filters. Like in my mind, it never seems like they would be powerful enough to do anything. But do they work? I mean, on a small tank?
In a small tank for sure. I don't know how good they would do in a big tank. In a small tank, though, they will clear a tank fast.
Like if you put it in a size tank that it says it's rated for, do they do a good job in that environment?
I think so. I mean, they're doing it's hard for me to say for sure because I overfiltrate everything.
I was going to say you put 4 different filters on everything, so
yeah. So it's hard to, like upstairs where I have 2 70s Pro, the Shark Pro 70s, which I think is the one step down from the big one. I have 2 in either corner, and then I also have 2 Aqua Clear 110s and an under gravel filter. So, I mean, that one tank alone has 5 filters on it. So I can't say for sure if they're doing a fantastic job on their own, but altogether it's doing well.
In my mind, I always sort of equate them to like the old Magnum polisher filters that you would put on.
They're similar to the, yeah.
Yeah, and to me, those they used to polish the heck out of a tank, but they would get clogged up really. So they were like meant to go on there for like one day and then take it off, clean it.
Well, that is holding true. Not for the ones upstairs. I haven't had to restart them, but the one I bought a little guy for this low boy because there's really nothing. I don't know what to filter it with. It's only 9 inches tall, and there's not a lot of filters that will hang on something like that, other than a sponge filter. And I really despise sponge filters. So I asked around. I asked John from KG Tropicals. I asked Jason from Primetime Aquatics. I asked Ben from Ben Ochart's channel, and pretty much universally they told me try the Shark Pro.
As far as I can tell, they sell a lot of them, like on John's channel, and I don't ever hear anyone complaining about it. So that's pretty much the only anecdotal evidence I had. But I was always just curious because to me it seems like a better solution than a sponge filter for a tank that you want to look nice.
Yes, much better, much better.
And that a sponge filter would be adequate, for.
I don't know how good they are with the whole biological. I would imagine they're fine, but I don't know. But as far as polishers go, they are fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest with you,
but you aren't wrong. I mean, I have an old version of that. I don't remember what they were called before they were the Pro Sharks, but it's a shark, but it's oval instead of square. So it's like the first generation. And that thing, even right now, probably is clogged. And like if you want, if you have pest snails or just a lot of detritus that it's picking up, it'll clog. It'll clog fast, like a day or two. And then you have to clean it out, and the snails get in there and like, Jesus, get out of there, you dumbass snails.
Does it? Where does it pull from? The bottom, the sides, all the above? Like,
I believe, like on the smaller ones, like on the old one there, the oval one definitely pulls from the bottom. The smallest of the Shark Pros pulls from the bottom. No, that's not. I'm lying to you. The Pros pull from the sides. They pull it in and then up.
And can I throw one more thing out there because I just don't want to
Sure.
forget. I don't want to mention it. This is I'll cover it in my next video and everything. But so I bought a bunch of Hillstream loaches from Jody P. Right. It's not my first time with Hillstream loaches. I've had the reticulated ones before. I've generally had maybe a group of 6 or 8 or something like that. Right. And they're cool. They remind me of like mini discus and all that stuff. Right. But I never thought of them as just an absolute juggernaut for eating algae. But I had my 125 was just slathered in algae, green cyano, just covering every surface of the tank. I got somewhere between 25 and 30 of those, 3 different species from Jody P. And most of them were tiny. I mean, tiny, right? And I threw them in there, and I was here for like a day, and then I went on like a 4-day business trip, and I came back from the trip. And all the rock, all the glass, all the sand is all clear. I mean, it's like they ate it all. It's insane.
And they were this big.
there was a handful that were actually good size, right? Like 4 or 5. But yeah, they literally have grown before my eyes. Like a week, they're not as big as big ones, but they went from microscopic to get a little size to them. But oh my God, they're like juggernauts, man. I've never seen anything like it.
Hold, please. You continue on, but I have Ed in the chat. Oh, he needs it to send. Sorry, Ed. I forget. He needs the link to Facebook.
Oh, at any rate, I mean, it is like I said, I can't remember if it's 25 or 30, but it's somewhere. It's one or the other, and it is a 125-gallon tank, so it's not a tiny tank, but they put a hurting on it. And I mean, if anyone saw in the video, I'm not talking a little bit of algae. I'm talking like strands of algae, all the glass, all the rock, all the sand, completely covered, cyano, you name it. They demolished all of it. It was impressive.
Yeah, I actually had that kind of luck with bristlenose plecos. I had hair algae in my 70.
Yeah, you know what? Come to think of it.
Oh no!
You're off camera. What happened?
My ghost snipe is dead. I just looked over there to talk about the 70 and it looked cloudy, and I'm like, well, something's wrong.
Ugh.
It's not about biscuit. It's like I'll be doing a water change after tonight's show. You good there, Ed?
Hi there.
Hi.
Look, I've been here so long, Nico's actually laid down.
You weren't here that long. I saw you pop in.
No, I mean, I've been trying to figure out how to get logged on.
Oh.
I went to Facebook and I was trying to bring it up and I accidentally logged out of Facebook and then I couldn't figure out how to log back into Facebook. Oh.
Couple years, Zenny. It was I don't know, it was probably about that big.
Oh, that's a bummer. I'm sorry, Whip. You want to show us?
No, I'm not going to show you. Holy cow, there's a face we haven't seen in a while. Hey, James.
Hey, James.
Anyway, before I derailed you, where were we at? You were asking a question or telling us how your Hillstream loaches cleaned up your tank, your 125, and it's glorious now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they would do that.
I only just learned that. Was it whose channel was that? I think it was Primetime Aquatics on one of their live streams, either this past Thursday or the Thursday before.
Well, this was a tank too that was just fresh start up, whatever, and I'm just surprised what they did to the cyano. They had all the cyano too, and I'm talking like cyano that was like as long as your hand, you know, like, and they just
Really,
yeah, like, even off the sand, not just the rocks, the glass, the sand, everything. It's I mean,
was hungry.
Actually, yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, it's funny you say that because when I got back, I picked up. I was telling you before, I got sick on the airplane ride back, right, from the trip, and so the first day or two I got home, I was kind of knocked out. But then, you know, I got myself together to go down there to take care of the fish the next day, you know, and I was looking, and I was like, oh my God, they've eaten even more in a day and a half, you know. But I was like, I better throw some Coke wafers in here or something. These guys are gonna, you know, run out of food. They're like voracious.
Right. There's Doc. He's explaining what's going on. We didn't really go into it on Thursday, Doc, because we didn't know how much you wanted us to talk about it. But yeah, the Doc lost. I think you said it was a 400 gallon that cracked right down the front or the back. I don't know from the picture. So he lost a bunch of really nice fish, and then in the process, just to add a little more salt to the wound, he threw his back out.
That really sucks.
That sucks, yes, for sure and for certain.
Sorry, Dr. Anthony.
No good. Hey, Skip's here. Hey, Skip. I'm not seeing too many questions.
Right there.
That solves the Hillstream Loach going into a cyano tank in the morning to decide by Friday if I'm keeping it. There you go. Select pet.
Well,
you just got some.
I had 25 or 30 of them there, not one. So you might not get the same result.
Yeah. You may not see the same results.
You know?
My fish store, Aquatic Aesthetics, got some really rare loaches in. They're like a dojo loach, but they have a checkerboard on them. They're really bizarre. I'll try to find a photo. He bought them to sell, but now he's thinking about just keeping them for himself because they're so weird and special looking. Oh, I'm looking for Facebook. I don't have Facebook on my new phone. It's a big problem.
That is a big problem. Xanadu, you threw me off with the Lake Miss. I'm like, what the heck? Who's he talking about? Here's one for you, Jeremy. Any algae eaters are voracious as long as you have a large population. They act like red ants. All right.
Yeah, I mean the only other.
But they starve to death, right? I mean, you gotta keep them fed.
Well, yeah, it could be kind of like with a lot of the big cichlids. Like if you have one bass and you throw food in there, a lot of times they're just like, yeah, I might eat it, I might not, whatever. But as soon as you have a group of them, they're always so competitive that they just attack anything you throw in there. And maybe these guys are the same way. But I have seen it with bristlenose with the dark green algae though that like grows in the spots on wood.
They're not checkerboard, cool. They're leopard. They're leopard. Yeah. They're yellow with blackish brown spots. They're pretty neat.
Yeah, I would definitely hold on to those. I wouldn't sell those. I'd breed them and make more.
But he's a fish store. you know?
But if you can make more, I don't know how hard the dojo loaches are to spawn, but
he's got a giant canoe in his front window that's filled with loaches, and so he has those in a little basket with all the giant loaches around them right now.
I see.
You know, they always say that like dogs and their owners have the same look. I'm just looking at Nico and Ed and just trying to see is there
any resemblance?
But does it work with
got
cats?
Some white on our chins.
Yeah. Ed
He's got
needs,
better
like,
ears.
some brown patches on his head. Like,
I think he got offended. He
Asia
doesn't want to
says
look at the
those are
screen
cool.
now.
My dojos keep blowing bubbles at me this evening. They were
That's
hiding.
awesome.
It jumped.
He
Where'd I go?
lets
It jumped in
people, if
pennyworth.
if you can wash your hands, and then you can feed his dojo loaches in his canoe, because it's like a reverse canoe, because the canoe's filled with water, and then he'll let the loaches like eat out of your hand. It's pretty cool. They'll just nibble your fingers.
Yeah, well, I was with you the one time when you put your hand in there.
Yeah,
There was
he's a cool
I
dude.
don't remember what they did for you, but if they
He just
jumped in your
tickle-
hand or not.
I know what John's
he
talking
just tickle.
about. When I was a kid, one time, my parents did like a garage sale, community garage sale thing, and they made me put stuff in there. And I didn't want to sell my stuff, so I overpriced everything, figuring if they did buy it, it'd be worth it. You know?
Yeah.
Did you sell anything?
Yeah.
Oh, bummer.
Some stuff I wish I had back. Actually, it's kind of crazy. I think about it.
Yeah, I bet.
It'd probably be worth a lot of money nowadays. Yeah.
James says Ed has the same ears. I've seen him without his bandana.
This is all just for show. Ed's ears are really up here.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I always have these things, just to fake it. See? Nothing.
You was right. You and Nico do have the same like head movements. Yeah.
What? That's just they're always confused.
Whose water is whose over there? Like, who's the water for Nico or the tea for Nico?
Yeah,
Oh,
this
there's
one's
no question.
Nico's water.
They're both Nico's. Who are you kidding?
Well, tea's
You just like
poisonous
to
to cats.
You just like to pretend that it's yours.
He'll knock it over though. If I have water though instead of tea, he'll just take it over, because he prefers ice cubes. If I have water, I have to put ice cubes in his water too.
So Ed,
Yes.
you're our resident Nano guy. Now that Doc is out of action,
Okay.
hopefully he's feeling better sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the pros to keeping nano tanks?
Well, some of the pros is, of course, affordability right off the bat. You know, I mean, you can start off your hobby a whole lot cheaper, you know, and you can put them in a lot more spaces. So you also have that advantage that you can put one on your work table. You can't put a 200-gallon tank on your work desk or in your cubicle very easy.
Nope.
And then other advantages. Oh, Nico just kicked me. He like this back foot, just like he kicked me like, don't say it. But oh, you threw me off, big guy. But yeah, there's tons of advantages for cleaning. Oh my gosh, you don't have to bend over to clean them. You know, you can just whoop 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 and do your work. So yeah, there's pros and cons.
I think probably the biggest pro for me, not that I keep the little tiny tanks, but you know, you can decorate them. You're not going to be keeping fish generally. I suppose you could. Some of the small cichlids may dig still. Like I don't like multis definitely dig, right?
You could get like
And
you could get some shellies and put them like in a 15-gallon cube.
Cribs.
Throw sand in there and a bunch of shells, and they would make all sorts of piles, and that would be awesome on your desk, because every day it would look different, be like a lava lamp, you know, with them digging and everything, moving it around.
Right.
That'd be pretty fun.
A very, very slow lava lamp.
And the water
and cleaning
changes
would be
is a lot easier. Water changes
cleaning
the
would be a
1
lot
gallon
easier.
milk jug.
And you never have to go deeper than this. You can't see that. You never have to go deeper than this.
Now my problems are is I've got some on the bottom shelf, and when I'm draining, doing water changes, it's really difficult because I got to have the water lower than the tank that's a foot off the ground, and that's really highly annoying because it's a foot off the ground, and then it's only a 20 tall, so it's only another foot of water. So you have 2 feet of water, and I'm dumping it into a trash can that fills up. So that's the one advantage to a big tank is, the water levels are a lot easier to drain.
Yeah, yeah. And you nailed it too. Like losing that ghost knife way harder than losing one of 20
a cherry barb
guppies. Yeah, or cherry barb or whatever.
Yeah, but
I
you can throw shrimp in there. You can throw all sorts of fun stuff, little things. There's a lot of little fish.
Yeah, and there's a lot more options for sure. There's a million little fish, especially now, which is why I picked the topic because they seem to be. They have for a couple of years now, probably, but they have become a very popular choice. The planted, smaller tanks. So, and I've just never had a big. I've never had a big draw to them myself.
I think the big difference is when you're scaping them, you don't have to fill your pickup truck with giant boulders, drive around to your fish room.
Yeah.
And have Skipper come down and stand on the outside of the tank and hand you the boulders while you're inside the tank. So
right.
Yeah.
And just like Ed was saying, the cost alone. Look at how much it costs you to escape a 4,500 gallon, opposed to somebody who's doing a 5 or a 10. You're talking pennies compared to what you got going on.
What else I think it's good for is if you like collector kind of stuff, because you can have, let's say you had 6 different little Betta Nano tanks, right? And each Betta is very distinct looking fish. You can do that, and it still just takes up the space, let's say, of a 30 or a 40 or something like that. But each one can be scaped different, that kind of stuff. So
right. And that's another great point for the pros. Little fish. I don't know how you guys do it, but I usually just freeze my fish and throw them away. Back in the day, because I have a septic. I'm not putting organics down there other than the stuff I have to put down there. But back in the day,
you could just good for your organics that's down there, though.
Dead fish?
Yeah, it would just be bacteria. Would eat it better than it'd probably eat your poop.
I don't know. I'm not going to find out. So I just freeze them for a day and then throw them away.
I just throw them in the yard
for however many days it needs till garbage day, because I don't pull them out until garbage day.
If it's a guppy, I just throw it over the fence, and then if it's a big fish, normally I tell Dad, you want to buy a tree or a bush, and then we dig a hole and drop the big fish and then put the bush on top, or the tree, or the rose thing. There was one year I had one of my great big tinfoil barbs, is a 10-inch, 11-inch fish, but they're big and fat. And I put it down there at the end of the yard, and I didn't even think it was Easter, and the kids were next door neighbors were like hunting for Easter eggs, and right where the fish was. It's funny.
It stinks over here.
One of them would have grabbed this big silver fish. More than likely, though,
all the adult parents are like, now who would have put this fish here? Let's see.
Right. Who could it have been?
It's like that Homer Simpson that just walks backwards into the bush and disappears.
Zenny says, I would argue that's about personality, not size, though. Bettas are pretty small, but I have totally cried over one because they are like little buddies for sure. I think I've said this on the stream before. If they're one of my favorite little fish, but I won't buy them because they just aren't healthy anymore. They are not a healthy fish. Maybe if I can get some wild caught ones that aren't, got 1,000 different genes in them that's been crossbred with mom and dad
Yeah.
500,000 times.
What about those
will
wild?
try
They
it.
have the big ones over from the big king beta ones from Thailand or whatever, like big honking ones. Those things look
Yeah,
awesome.
the big ones that are look similar to like a traditional, store bought Betta, those don't have a long lifespan either. From what I've been told, I don't know what their expected lifespan is, but the people that I know that have had them said they only last a year or two.
Well, I think in
So
nature they got that weird deal where they got a dry season, so their habitat disappears, so it doesn't. You can't really say what their lifespan would be because
right, Xanadu might know. I know he's a big Betta fan,
Pea
but I
puffers
don't
would probably
know.
be fun in a small tank on your desk. I always wanted to have if I never had a job where I had a cubicle or like an office, but I always thought it'd be cool to have my own little personal tank on my desk if I did.
It did have a name. It was Mac, as in Mac the knife. I was very original on that.
Yep. As soon as you name a fish, it dies. Never name
Oh
your
no,
fish.
that one. I name all my fish, and usually I don't have a problem. But
What ones are still alive that you named?
something happened in there, and yeah, I definitely
How many have
all
you
of them.
named and
The only
have
ones I
died?
don't name are the ones that like guppies, where you can't, you're
There's little Maxine. She's hard
well
to catch.
of the ones that have died, all of them.
See? It's 100% success rate.
Right? I see where you're going with that. Yeah, my lower level tanks and smaller tank racks are my least favorite to maintain versus the bigger ones. Well, lower level would definitely be my least favorite, regardless to size, because I hate getting down on the ground. I am never going to do the tanks near the ground again. I will not have tanks before I do that ever again.
Yeah, I want to pull mine up.
Not sure what he was referring to there, Jeremy, but you must have said something.
yeah, I'm not sure what it was at this point.
Why do you people say 5 gallons is enough for a Betta and others say it's not? It's mostly just a quality of life thing, Connor. You want to have enough space for the fish to, not just live but thrive. And
Be happy.
it's yeah,
Not
you
get
could keep it.
stressed.
You could put it in a half gallon.
Well,
They breed them and keep them in tiny little containers for the first half of their lives. They live. It's easier to. Let me see if I can say my words without tripping over myself. It's easier to maintain, heat, filter, at least a 5. I mean, they make stuff for 5s. There's not much out there you can do with a gallon tank. You'd be turning the water over so fast. Maybe get the tiniest of tiny sponge filter, maybe.
I think it just comes down to like what's the minimum that survive and versus what's good, right? Like I could lock you in a closet, right? You'll still live, but it's not gonna be nice, I mean,
Yeah, you'll live. You just won't be happy.
yeah. And it's kind of weird
Right.
too because like at
And
the
it's
end
water
of the
quality too. I mean, it's a lot easier to maintain a water quality.
well, you watch the videos, from their natural habitat at the beginning of the wet season, they're in huge flooded drainage ditches that are overflowing into fields. They're in massive amounts of water, 2, 3 feet deep, and as far as you can see in every direction. And then, by the time the dry season comes, they're puddle jumping, hopping, right?
Yeah, they're in a
sometimes.
water buffalo's footprint.
Yeah, and it's just complete mud water and everything. But it's like, so yeah, they're surviving and all of that. But I don't know. I'm gonna hazard a guess that if they could ask, answer a question, they'd be like, yeah, we kind of like the beginning of wet season when it's all, habitat everywhere.
Yeah, right. And that's kind of how it is in the Amazon too.
Yeah. Those
Again,
pools
unfortunately,
birds
the
come
dock
around.
ain't here, but yeah,
Yeah.
aren't a lot of the fish that they collect, not all of them, obviously,
Yeah,
but a
absolutely.
lot of the tetras and whatnot, they collect them from the pools that are left behind that will die anyway, because eventually
Yeah,
those pools will dry up.
those main rivers, they'll overflow their banks by miles and miles, And when it retreats back, there's little areas that are going to go completely dry. I mean, it sucks to watch it because, being an ornamental fish keeper, but there's one of those videos where they show there's these puddles, there's just thousands of birds just picking off all the fish. And there's like thousands of cory cats in there and tetras and all this stuff and bigger fish. And none of them were going to make it,
Like ghost snipe.
all bird food.
Yep. Yep. Sorry. Mama must have heard that the fish died, so she came down. Take a look, see.
You could ask her to pick it up and show us because it's dead.
Why are you showing us your boobs?
She's getting the ratings to go up.
Yeah. Susie Q. If anybody wants merch, get a hold of Susie Q. 100% of the profit goes to her. I don't see a penny.
You gave her 50% off that sweatshirt, right, Whip?
Yeah, that's right. Zanny says when he loses fish, they go in the garden. I don't have a garden, unfortunately, so they just go in the trash. And I'm not going to be digging a hole for a bush every time a fish dies. So
my dad has a garden. I don't have a garden. I give him duckweed and he spreads the duckweed over his garden.
And does that do any good?
Oh yeah, it's packed with stuff. My dad will I told my dad whenever he wants free fertilizer, he can come and collect duckweed whenever he wants. And I mean, he's in there like throughout the summer, almost every other week. He's scooping up duckweed just to throw out there in his flowers and fruit.
And hopefully not getting too many fish in the process. Yeah, there's a guppy or two in there.
I taught him how to use a hair pick. Use the hair pick technique to skim over it. And as long as you don't put the hair pick right up against the glass and you see a guppy flopping around, normally the guppies can swim right through the hair pick and you still get all the or a big majority of the duckweed. They said that duckweed is so packed with different minerals and stuff, it would make the best ethanol there is. Like no other plant would produce as much power for ethanol than duckweed. And it's also so fast. It's crazy.
Yeah, it grows fast if you have the right conditions, right?
They say that if you take buttered toast and put duckweed on it, it's a superfood,
Yeah, I bet it is. Well, it's really weird. My guppy,
like your delivery, I'm like, no.
if my tanks like drop like a couple inches and then I just top them off, all that dried duckweed around the glass, the guppies devour. They love the dried duckweed.
Big Steve says, Whip, I'll send you a pair of wild Betta. Well, all right.
Oh. My dad
is
even closer to getting a Maverick.
He tells me I ain't gonna try to say that. Zenny says, I will say it is a lot easier to just tap a dead guppy out of the trash can, into the trash can with the excess duckweed in the net. Yep. Yeah. So, unfortunately, old Mac there is going to end up in a Ziploc baggie and stuck in the freezer until Wednesday night.
Man, I just chuck it in, throw it under a bush.
Yeah, say just put them outside, let the local fox or a raccoon take care of it.
Yeah.
It just brings animals in.
They're
Well, we
already
like
there, man.
animals.
They're already there.
Trust me, I know. My neighbor was a wildlife rescue because her husband is in the same business as I am, and you know, he cuts down trees, and all of a sudden they have 27 squirrels over there. So she had to get licensed for that. But they ended up quitting the rescue business because she fell in love with the raccoons so much that they went out and bought some designer blonde, you know, domesticated raccoon from somewhere down in Florida, and now they can't keep the wild ones anymore. So I've got squirrels and raccoons everywhere around here.
Did you ever go over there and pet their raccoon?
I am not brave enough. I have come across too many raccoons.
Yeah, but it's a fancy pants blonde one.
In my they on my back, they scare me. So I don't like them. They are a little bit too aggressive.
It's like mid-sentence, you went into deep thought. You're like,
Yeah, I know. I got the circles of death, and I'm like, yeah, here we go again. Shauna says, I absolutely love Bettas. I've had Bettas since I was 18. Yep, I would have them right now. I actually had one before they messed them all up. I've told this story before too, but I had one that I bought right after we got married, and I had that thing for 7 years in a bowl, basically a bowl. I mean, it was a vase with pothos in it. No heater, no nothing, just water, pothos, and the fish. Lived for 7 years. I can't get one to go over 2 years anymore. Can't do it. It doesn't matter. I put it in a 35-gallon cube with heat and plants and, you know, all kinds of stuff in there. Everything a growing fish should need, and I can't keep them alive.
I think we should have Crystal verify that she wasn't just replacing that as they were dying, so you didn't, you know, have her feelings hurt.
Yeah, it could be.
Pair it with the goldfish, you know.
Oh no, you're gonna be heartbroken. I'll put another one in there.
Yeah. Because back in the day, they didn't come in that many colors. It'd be pretty easy to get another similar one, you know.
Hey Don, Sharon, sorry.
Does
Mouth
anybody
is not
here,
working today.
anybody online or, you know, that's watching, has anybody had the alien Betta? How long do they live? I've always thought they were really neat little guys, but I just don't want to put up the $60 to buy an alien Betta.
I think they're fine and they live just as long, if not longer, if you can keep them in the tank. Though I know for sure those are
Aliens
jumpers.
jump?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I could put one in this tank.
I mean, even regular Betta jump sometimes, but I even like Lisa was talking, was it this past Friday or 2 Fridays ago? I don't remember anymore. She'd find them on the floor, and they had lids. You know, they had that giant system that they built, and
Yeah.
they'd still get out of there from time to time.
Technically, if you had about half an inch of water on your floor, the Betta would live, even if it jumped out on the floor.
Yeah, right. Well, in my basement, that's not always unreasonable. Chattanooga Ed, I can picture you in a cubicle looking at your nano tank saying, yeah, fishy, fishy, fishy.
Oh, yeah. I'd be there all day long.
Kev had an arowana named Jaws.
This is for you.
There's Mary saying hi. What's for me? I missed
No,
it.
it was for you.
Oh, for
I've got
you.
his body.
Ah!
I hope this is an acceptable body. Hopefully it's not some guy he hates.
Splendid bettas with long fins actually struggle to reach the surface in larger tanks, but smaller fin placots definitely need more space. I think that was in reference to why the bigger tank. When some people say they're fine in a spoonful of spit, some of them will do fine. That's mostly guppies, though. What size tank is big enough for a betta is like saying what size living space is good for a human. Then compare New York City apartment to a house in a rich neighborhood in the Midwest. Different views on what's necessary. True, but yeah, I mean, it gets to the point where like Jeremy's example, yeah, you can live in a closet, but you aren't necessarily going to be happy in a closet.
But there is also conditions. Like my oldest brother, he has a 120-gallon community tank. He's always kept a betta there. And because there's all the busyness of the fish and some water flow in certain areas, the bettas, no matter whatever one he's ever had, they always end up in the back corner where the water's the calmest. And he's got a big thing of plants there. Sometimes they can sort of sit on and everything. They never really want anything to do with the big column full of tetra flying around. They definitely don't really want anything to do with heavy water flow from the cannon or like from his return from the filter. So,
right,
when they're in those flooded plains, that water is very still and calm, right? So there's some aspects of the environment, right, are going to be suited for the way they're designed, right? You don't want to have them in high flow and blah blah blah.
Right.
And then like Zen said, the depth. I mean, because I never really saw that betta anything but kind of near the surface, You never saw them down at the substrate, chill, swim around or whatever. So.
Right. James says that's fat. I've been locked in his closet for 2 years now.
Ed's brother accidentally hooked up the internet connection in the prison closet. Now James is like, I have communication.
Somebody call help. I have one ember tetra left, and I love her to death. I did lose one of my long-finned cherry barbs after a water change because I waited too long, and the water parameters probably changed too drastically for them. Is my only guess. Because with the smaller fish, I tend to get a little bit too lax. If you see something there, Jeremy, I know that was one of our discussions offline where I missed a bunch of you guys' really good questions last time we were on. And I'm going to try not to let that happen anymore.
Now you just screwed yourself, Whip, because you're gonna pass over some question. They're gonna be like, man, he didn't think my question was good enough to.
Yeah, right. I hate that guy. There's my wife right there. Hello. A lot of hellos. Here we go. Duckweed. Weed. Fish don't know the difference. Weeds to them. Yep. That's for sure. They don't care. If I could get duckweed to grow, I would have duckweed. I had it for a minute. Got it from Rico when he gave me some guppy grass. And
that was great for me too.
Yeah, now I've lost everything basically. Guppy grass died. Now the fish have eaten all the guppy grass.
Well, we'll rehook you up once you move down here and have good water.
I don't know if that was the water or not. Maybe.
So with your new house in Tennessee, Whip, like how far down does your well have to go because you're up in the mountains, right?
It's actually I have city water.
Oh, it's city water.
Yeah, they have it run up there already because it was going to be a fairly well-to-do neighborhood, only 7 houses, 5-acre lots, and on a mountaintop. They were hoping to make big money off of it, and then I don't know what happened, but it fell apart. And I got in when the getting was good because it's been appraising for like $40K since we bought it, and this year it jumped up to like 100. I'm like, woo!
Wow.
If I can get 100, I'm selling right now.
I know. Just move 5 miles farther away.
Yeah, right. I had a breeder's license, and then DNR brought me a baby silvertip raccoon. Him and my small terrier played. Yeah, this raccoon that they have plays with their dogs. I don't know if it plays with their duck. They have a duck too. But it definitely plays with the dogs, 2 standard collies. Don't be scared of the trash pandas. They have adorable little hands. Yes, they do, but they have very sharp teeth, and they are very aggressive when they're like jumping at you with that cat hiss that they kind of have. It's a short hiss, though. It's not like a long, drawn-out cat hiss. It's a short cat hiss.
You want to hear a funny story? When I was in Texas, there was my backyard was fenced in, and the master bedroom was in the back. And I was sleeping with the window open. I heard this god awful noise, this like screeching sound. I looked down, and there was a raccoon and a possum on my fence facing each other. Like neither one would give way to the other. And they were just screaming at each other at the top of their lungs. And I was up there, and my other neighbor came out. We're both like, "Shut up!" And they're just ignoring us. They're just like.
We cannot be bothered.
It was surreal, man. It was just like a fence war in the middle of the night.
Mary says if raccoons are out in the daytime and walking weird, it's probably rabid. Had to call animal control last week. Came ended its life. Tested positive for rabies. Rabies and distemper. And distemper is another big one. I had one that was out in the daytime and wasn't walking too weird, but it was walking very slow. And I just tapped it in the butt with a very long stick so it wouldn't come back around and get me. And I just kind of walked him right off my property into the woods behind me. And I'm like, okay, you stay back there. That's your home.
We got a raccoon around here. It always looks like he was brushing his teeth, but didn't like wash his mouth out. And he's got like big chunks of hair missing. We call him Patches. But he's pretty nice.
Pretty nice.
Well, he's not actually nice, but, he's part of the neighborhood. So
we've got a chick one around here that has babies every year, and she walks them through our property. Like it's like probably 7 o'clock at night when the sun's starting to go down. They come through our property and they stop and they try to eat whatever sunflower seeds underneath the fish or the bird feeders. And then I know they come back in the middle of the night because they knock over my fountains and my tubs.
Yeah, my buddy lives in the city, and he has a family that he catches on ring going between the homes. You know how the houses are pretty close together, and the driveway pretty much is wide as the space between his house and the neighbor's house. So they come right down his driveway, just like in a line, like you would see on a cartoon. And I don't know where they're going, but they're making a real good time. Zenny says Crystal has been secretly keeping the LFS in business, replacing Fish Weekly. I wouldn't doubt it. Jeff says, I have one, standard life of a Betta so far. So that he's talking about your I've already forgotten. Alien, yes, thank you. My brain. Ed, I'll send you a pair too.
That's awesome.
Xanadu agrees. They do jump.
I gotta send him. I need your address, Big Steve, so I can send you your Hulk. Hulk self. Tennessee Fish Mafia Hulk.
There you go.
Whatever.
Oh my gosh. I know this isn't fish related, but Zenny, you triggered me. Those red pandas are adorable. I don't know if they'll rip your face off or not, because lots of like koalas look adorable too, but they will definitely kill you if they have the opportunity. But red pandas, when they stand straight up in the air. You know,
She's
it's not like a
them
bear
for
where they
years.
lean.
That's her symbol on her Facebook.
What? Oh, on Facebook.
Yeah, when you go to Facebook, that's her face.
I am not on Facebook hardly at all anymore. So, hey,
Speaking
Cheryl.
of that,
Darn it.
Facebook banned me after a week.
What's that? I missed it. I
Facebook
can't hear
banned
you.
me.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. It just said I violated community guidelines.
Oh, you just got in trouble?
All I did was make the profile, send us some friends requests to people I knew, and put up a couple pictures of the pond. And then I went on a business trip. I came back and it said you've been banned for community guideline strikes or something. Like,
I wonder if somebody hacked you.
No, I mean I had multi-factor set. I had all this stuff. There's nothing, whatever. So I appealed it and they denied the appeal. It's just said the same thing. Community guideline strikes.
That happened to my I have another account for me, so I could be sneaky, because it was all for one thing, a community page that I created for this area, because I was tired of dealing with not the neighbors, but some of our government officials who were being paid to do a job that they weren't doing. So I created an account so that they couldn't, take retaliation on me. And all of a sudden I couldn't get onto it anymore. And they told me that it was banned and that I had so many days to, file a grievance, or not a grievance, but an appeal. And I'm like, you know what? It's just a secondary account. I don't care. Just take it. Whatever.
Yeah, it just reminded me why I wasn't on there in the first place. It's just annoying.
My arowana's name? It's what is my arowana's name? It's the name from it's from the dragon from
Drago.
The 1981 movie
With Dennis Quaid?
Nope, 81.
Oh, 81.
Yeah.
Oh, Dennis Quaid still could have been in that. But Puff the Magic Dragon.
It's a weird name. It's a long one that I always forget.
That's a really bad name to name your favorite fish if you can't even remember what its name is.
Vermithrax.
I know I named it, but can't remember what it's. Jordan?
Nope. Vermithrax. Vermithrax pejorative is his name.
I hope you don't name any of your Dungeons and Dragons characters after that. I'll just start calling you Rax.
But yeah, that's why I can never remember it. I had it memorized for a while, and then anytime I don't use something for a while, I just forget. That's why a lot of times somebody will show me something on the computer. I'll have it down. I can do it. Then I don't do it for a while, and then I'm like, how do I do it again? I don't remember.
Brain removing it from memory, from cache to storage.
Yeah. It's like how people say put it in the vault. Yeah, I put it in the vault, and then I can lose the key. I can't get it back out again. And very acceptable. Unfortunately, it's not a model that you can build or paint.
Oh, you don't know me very well.
Yep, you don't challenge accepted.
He's gonna have a fish tank embedded in the chest of that thing before you know it.
Mary
yeah.
says,
I should
Xanadu,
have a
don't all Betta jump.
cooler in him.
I have many fish that were jumpers and they still in the tank, except for my golden wonders. We were just talking about golden wonders and how they were jumping out of the jumpers just the other day. Hey, 6. Sleep. Richard Reynolds is here. Hello, Richard.
Reynolds.
Hi, Richard.
I've decided to, oh, there's June. Hello, June. Decided to do an auto fill and drain. I've decided to do an auto fill and drain. Like on established tanks, because that's really hard if you're doing it after the fact. Trying to work everything behind the fish tanks and everything. So I wish you good luck, sir, ma'am. I'm looking at Richard. Good.
I was thinking, what if Richard ever did like a salmon channel, be like against the flow, swimming upstream.
Talking about that yesterday. Not against the flow, but about setting up an auto change.
Yeah, I definitely want to do it when once I get the shed in Tennessee.
Looking cooler. It matches them color wise.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to paint that too.
So it's like you go into like a fish swap or something with this cooler full of fish.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this fish. Let's see if the fish fits in the cooler. It's easier just to pop his whole hand off. Oh yeah, look at this. Oh, the fish. It's a little wide. Let's try these other.
You planning any trips over to Southeast Asia there, Jeremy?
My son's going to Taiwan in a couple of weeks.
Oh, you should hang out with them and go check out the local farmers.
Oh my gosh, there's so many cool things to do.
Month and a half or something, but nope, I'm staying here. Holding down the fort.
I do, Zenny, but I turn it off before water changes. And then I usually do a water change like on a tank where there's no plants or anything in, and the fish is bigger. Like I do the flower horn. Is usually my first water change. So whatever's in the pipes is out of the pipes by the time I get back down to the basement. Yeah, she's like, you're not selling my property. If I can get $100 grand for it, I am.
Yeah, we'll just buy you a new piece of property.
Then
your property would be free.
You're giving me diabetes just looking at that half those ingredients.
Chocolate syrup.
I already got it.
I also have a bigger cooler. But I kind of like how the red and white go with this guy.
That is not true, Xanadu. Have you seen some of the possum that are raised in captivity? They are adorable.
Not the wild ones.
Here she comes.
They look
nasty.
No.
And they're fairly docile. I mean, you don't want to like go grab one by the face or anything, but you can pick them up. And they just usually go, that whole playing dead thing. I mean, they really do that. That's a real thing.
I'm not into grabbing possums.
Jeremy sees a mange-filled raccoon and gives it a cute nickname. He's good people. Yep, talking about patches. I don't feel like I'm that far behind, but I guess I am. I'm about 10 minutes. I like opossums. They usually do not get rabies, and they eat a great deal of insect. Yeah, ticks. I don't know about the fleas, but they definitely eat a crap ton of ticks.
Oh, I didn't
If
know
you can
that.
get
I know
them,
turkeys love them.
if you can get them
Turkeys are
in
huge
your
tick eaters.
neighborhood, what are the other bird that's not, it's smaller? Not chicken,
I used
but
to have guinea hens.
guinea.
Mm-hmm. I had them just for ticks. When I first moved to my house,
is doing water changes.
the ticks would like go above my doorway into my house and wait for you to walk through to drop on you. They must be able to smell that people walk through there or something. I don't know how they. But it used to be a cow like area where cows lived, and they took the cows out and sold the land off for houses, and the ticks didn't go away. I had to mow the grass many times and everything before I finally got rid of the ticks and the guinea hens.
Mary finds that her husband, when he was alive, would be making beer, and two raccoons were standing on their hind legs, walking toward.
That must be those like city raccoons. You know?
Frickin' internet. I hate my internet. Good evening, Jeff. If you see something, let me know.
Caught it.
Mrs. Whip, get a big metal rod and point it towards the antenna to get the better.
Yeah, just stand up there and hold it
by the window.
How have I been doing? Have I been buffering or anything?
Nope.
I've been on 1 to no bars tonight. Just like how I noticed it on Thursday night. I just ran upstairs and did the show.
Yeah.
Tonight, it's 1 to no bars. And I haven't noticed anything. I don't understand what's going on. Maybe it's my computer.
And then he says, red pandas don't seem smart enough to hurt anyone. They are cute little dum-dums.
What do they eat?
Sorry, I missed your stream last Thursday, Ed. I was in the hospital with pneumonia. Oh, 6.
Oh. Yeah,
well,
we
I'm
even
glad you're. I'm assuming you're out,
and then we realized you weren't there.
Yeah, we did talk about you. We realized that we had not seen you.
What was the question I was going to ask her?
I don't remember. I don't even know if you said it out loud.
Oh. Oh, well.
I'm a moderator in my local neighborhood group, and some Karen keeps reporting me to me. That's awesome. He's Dragon Slayer. Thank you, Chris. That is correct. I could not remember the name of the movie. I couldn't remember the name of the dragon. John says,
year, though.
What's that?
You remember the year, 81.
Yeah.
Hey, Robert.
Because it was fairly realistic. I mean, it's not, but it, back in 81, things were not exactly good when it came to.
Didn't the original Conan the Barbarian come out in 81?
82, I think.
That was Mad Max came out around that time too. A Road
Mad
Warrior.
Max was the 70s.
Mad Max was
yep.
earlier.
Yeah.
But Road Warrior was the pinnacle of wonderful movies.
Yep. Hey, Robert.
Rolla.
Yeah, it was definitely not Falcor or Elliot. And then Chris got the name too.
This is my black marijuana, Lenny.
Chris, how old are you? Are you from 1973?
was so bad. You're crazy. That was a great movie. I love that movie.
I can't think of it right now. I can think of Clash of the Titans.
No, it was it revolved around a town that would feed the dragon. You know, they had an agreement with the dragon that they'd give it a female virgin or whatever. However
That
often,
seems
you know,
really
I don't
fair.
remember how often it was, but they the
They
one
tell this girl,
the main
you're going to be
lead
fed to a
is
dragon, but you
she
don't get to have
pretends to
any
be a
fun.
dude. Yeah. She pretends to be her dad dresses her as a boy, brings her up as a boy her whole life.
Oh,
And then the wizard has an apprentice who doesn't really know what he's doing, kind of learning as he goes. Moneyless Maven, hello, roar. Vodka, anyone? Haha. Nathan says, I don't think Ed can make a pleco cave. That's why we haven't seen it. I think I'm done with Killies for good. Had both of my pair of garden eye jump out, and the female of the Lagos Red, Lagos
a
Red, Lagos
Pleco
Red.
cave.
Yeah, pleco.
Oh, I've sold a lot of my Pleco caves.
And they all had lids, so they're getting out with lids on. Nice. That's frustrating.
I have an unpainted frog Pleco cave right here. Trying to remember where my Pleco. If I sold most of them right now, I only have a couple. They might be boxed up.
Shirley's lost quite a few of the Killies as well.
But I do appreciate any type of Pleco caves or something different that you'd
Hey,
like me to
Genevieve.
try to make that I haven't made. I'm always looking for ideas to make stuff. Hi, Jenna.
I grab them by the opossum. I had a guy grab one by the tail and just pick it up, put it on the hood of my car or my truck, work truck, and it just sat there. It didn't care. It was like, all right.
When Jenna came on, it made me think about dreams. I dreamt about James last night. We were trying to climb this mountain that was like covered in snow, and I kept sliding down the mountain. Every time I got up there, I would slide back down.
All right.
And he was getting frustrated with me, and then he finally said, "Why don't you just use the stairs?" And I didn't even realize that he'd taken the stairs.
Hey, Ross.
Hi, Ross.
Oh, Project Hail Mary. I want to see that.
Oh, it's so good.
I'll probably wait for it to come on one of the pay channels.
On Mondays, I go and see the Unseen Scream screen, which is a scary movie that's going to be coming out in next year or so. Normally it's like in 2 months, but sometimes it's a year away. Sometimes they don't even have names yet. But I also watched Hail Mary afterwards because it was Faces of Death. That was not a very good movie, but it was a lot better than I thought it would be. But Hail Mary, boy, that was a high quality show.
So basically you're saying it sucked, but it didn't suck as bad as you were thinking it was going to suck.
It didn't suck as bad as the Faces of Death movies.
No, that's what I mean.
I liked the twist. The twist at the end was good. I liked it.
Jenny says possums
would not recommend it.
eat the tree roaches around here. They are the big
Ooh,
ones. You can hear them crunching.
they fly. I hate them. What are they called?
Palmetto bugs, right?
Yeah.
Palmetto.
They sound like
I'm not
hummingbirds
exactly
when
sure.
they're flying around your head. Oh, and then you realize it's a roach instead of a hummingbird flying by.
I've loved the lore of the back rooms for years. I'm not sure what this is referring to. I might have missed. We probably said something, and now I can't remember what it's going back to. Hey Ed, please send your brother to Whip's house to work on his modem and router.
Oh
God,
my gosh. My brother is upstairs right now learning about history. He spends probably 6 hours a day reading about history of the world. It's unbelievable. He should be a professor, a history professor. All he does.
I agree. The movie with the dragon was pretty realistic. I mean, for 1981, it was pretty damn good. Because movies, even after that, were not as good. Because they started using like computer generated, really bad CGI.
I'm going to look at what the images look like from this.
Mad Max Road
There's the
Ranger.
cover art.
Yep, that's the cover. That's the wizard apprentice and the girl that was dressed as a boy most of her life.
Oh, it was a
Skippy,
big
I'm going to be
puppet.
meeting up with Ben Ochart tomorrow. Yeah, there he is.
It was a puppet that they did an amazing job with.
Ben says, I like Dragon Slayer. I'll have to look it up on YouTube.
I
I don't
don't
know
think I
where
ever
the
saw the
last time
movie.
was I saw it. If I watched it on YouTube or if I watched it on one of the pay channels.
Well, Whip is like a lot older than
That sounds
me,
like
so I probably wasn't allowed to see it.
That sounds like a waste of a perfectly good virgin.
Yeah,
Very true.
a waste of a virgin. And
Uh,
then she, like I said, she knows she's going to be sacrificed, and they also don't let her have any fun beforehand.
right. I Googled Dragon Slayer, 1981. Yep. I knew I
But
had
then,
the year.
if she did have fun beforehand, wouldn't she invalidate herself from being worthy of the dragon, being a virgin? So she'd be
Yeah.
not eating
I mean,
the dragon.
if any smart woman would be,
Yeah.
yeah.
They probably put some type of giant chastity belt on her. That was a thing back then, I think.
Well, and that was part of the twist, or if you want to call it a twist, but that was part of the controversy amongst the villagers is that everybody, all the women were supposed to be in the drawing to see who gets picked. But of course, the king always paid somebody to take his daughter's name out of the bucket.
Now, what would a dragon care if they were a
The
virgin or
back
not?
rooms. Is that a movie? Have you heard of that movie?
The
The
back
back rooms.
rooms.
It says it's coming out May 29th. Not out yet.
Yeah.
What's is Ben? What's he doing?
Oh, the back rooms looks
He-
terrifying.
The back
It's like-
Ben is going to be doing a talk for the GCCA. So I texted him today and I said, when you're here, are they whining and dining you or are you on your own? Because if you're on your own, I can swing up there and we can go get some pizza or something. And he said, I'll touch base with you when I get in or when he gets settled or whatever it was he said.
Well,
He texts back, "No, you'll tell me now, Mister."
Yeah, right.
the
You know
back
who I
rooms is-
am?
Did you ever see that movie? I think it was called The Cube, where they just keep going into room after room after room, and they're all blocked rooms. It seems similar to that, where they just keep going from room to room. And they can't get out of this building.
I saw it wasn't anything like that, but it was a thriller. It wasn't really horror. It's kind of horror, but not real. No, more of a thriller. It had the kid that died in real life. He played Chekhov in the
Phoenix.
more. He played Chekhov in the most recent Star Trek movies. I can't remember the kid's name though. He got run over by his own car.
In the movie,
and it had Jean-Luc Picard as the main bad guy. And I think it was called
the
Green
Room.
Yeah, yeah. That was a pretty freaky
I never
one.
saw that.
There's one scene in
You
there. I went,
recommend
oh!
I never saw it, but do you really recommend that movie?
It was a pretty good movie. It held my interest. And you know, those two guys alone are very good actors. I mean, why can't I remember Jean-Luc's real name? Because I'm an idiot, I think.
Picard. I know.
Yeah.
What's Picard's real name?
I can't think of it. Charles Xavier? Nope, that's still wrong.
I was about to go that way too.
Danny Bonaducci.
Danny Bonaducci.
What's Jean-Luc Picard's name?
They probably told us 12 times. Yeah, Patrick Stewart.
How did I not? Oh,
Dragon Slayer is a Disney movie, huh? I would not have known that.
Do you think that this
Hunter.
guy should
it's
also
on YouTube
hold a
Crave Hunter? Do I know you? Have you been here before? If not, hello and welcome.
I remember saying the name. Oh, does he come on D&D night?
Hello. What?
He used to come on D&D night.
Oh, maybe that's why it seems vaguely familiar. I just don't remember seeing it on my stream.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
Jeremy, say hi to Nancy. There you go.
Yeah, be careful. Yeah, we're not going there. Don't be stirring the pot, Jenny. Don't be stirring the pot.
Uh-oh. What's Zen saying now?
She said, what'd you call me? Oh, you said horror. Yep, there's Chris. Chris has got the names today. Patrick Stewart. And then Zenny had it too. And then Xanadu had it. Everybody had it. We just are the idiots that can't come up with it. Gives a little red light.
Well, that's just because they all Googled it before us. They just Googled it before us, dude.
I think it's just that stream brain is the real thing.
Oh my God, it is.
The little red light comes on and I can't think of anything. Hey, there's Rack. Hey, Rack.
Rack Attack.
There, Anton Yelchin. That's the guy. Yeah, I think the car actually, like, the parking brake released on him and he was crushed between it and the privacy fence that he had.
Wow.
If I remember correctly, it was something weird because he was just a kid. I think he was like 22, 24 years old, something like that.
I used to do my old car business.
Been watching for a while. Well, sorry that you had the same name.
Yeah, I say Gravedigger all the time, don't I?
Not Grave Dinner. This is Crave Hunter.
Oh, I thought it was Gravedigger.
No.
Grave Hunter, I'm sorry.
None of those letters match up.
Oh, that was nice.
It's an unspoken.
He started watching
hello.
you after the Bishers.
Oh, nice. Hey, Rack.
Right.
I'm saying hello to
Rex,
people when I
been
said
to
I wasn't going to say hello
John's
to people.
house.
But there's not a lot of questions going on here. Started watching after the KG Tropical. Oh, well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Actually, you almost messed up last night.
Steven, what did I mess up?
He was going to take that dragon back for you for something. I forget what it was now, but
for the Ozzy Osbourne figure thing. Yeah.
Here's a question. Talking about, Bichers. Bichers have a labyrinth lung. They can breathe. Did I say that right? Labyrinth lung?
Labyrinth organ.
They're close enough.
Lung, yeah.
They have a lung. And ropefish have it. The bettas, the grommies. Are there any saltwater fish that have a lung?
Oh.
That's what I was wondering about, or thinking about that just yesterday, because
you are the only one on this panel that has any chance at all of answering that question, Jeremy. I have no idea.
I've never heard of one that
stay out of water for a long time, but like some of they call them like walking sharks because they can come out of the water and walk like a epaulet shark can do it, a bamboo shark can do it. Not because they have a lung per se, but I guess they're just able to push enough, they can, because they push water over their gills. I guess they're able to do something in the air where they can keep it going for quite a while.
I was just thinking about that. I wonder if that was like a evolutionary change in fish that went from freshwater and they had ran out of food because their ponds and stuff don't have as much food, so they go outside and hunt.
I mean, it would be an adaptation to a low oxygen environment, right? So
yeah, and the ocean's constantly.
Well, it's already happening, isn't it? I mean, isn't it already it's on its way into happening anyway? I mean, you got dolphin and whales, and I mean, they all are
those
air breathers.
Yeah.
Those were all mammals that went back to the ocean. They originally, that's what they believe. They believe that they had come to land and then come back to the oceans to help with their large bodies and for protection and for all the food.
They couldn't compete with the rhinos and elephants, so they just gave up and went back to the ocean.
Like seals, they believe used to be bears.
These guys are jerks.
Did you know that seals were bears?
What?
They have the same bone structures as bears.
What does?
A seal and a walrus and those type of mammals.
I did not know that. You was looking to do some work, putting in some electric in his. I mean, not you. Skibbity Doodah. Looks like he's going to have his fish room all separated out. That's what I did too. I'm sure that's what Jeremy did. And did you do it too?
Look, it's right there, my panel.
Oh yeah.
Now is that price to?
There it is.
To put in all the outlets and wiring and the 20.
There it is.
Not just the breaker in the box.
Yeah, because I mean, if it is, it's actually not too bad.
Yeah. If it's just installing the breaker, then that's crazy.
But I don't know where. I think he's up in Wisconsin, so it's.
Copper's getting crazy though in cost too. Depends on how much copper he needs.
Someone bought a 10-inch ornate biker, brought to the club meeting and auction today and sold it for $95. Yeah, I just bought one for John and Lisa, and it cost about $150. I don't remember. So I mean, he didn't even get as much as he could have. What's that?
My two Bichir that are like gigantic.
But they were little
like
then, right?
Big. Yeah, they were like this big, and I got them for $15 for the two of them in an auction.
When they're little, they're even in the pet stores, they're pretty cheap. I mean, they're not. I think I picked up mine for $10, I think.
Well, that's
15
awesome.
bucks
That's a great
maybe.
price. I
But
would spend
but he
that.
was little. He was like this big. I mean, he was not even
Yeah.
as long as my pinky. Did you go to the auction
was-
like you were open? I assume not. The one that Nancy's talking about.
What?
To the club meet.
I thought
I thought you were going to
I
go to
thought
that.
I thought there was a swap coming up this month at the end of the month. Nancy, tell me the truth.
Per Google, labyrinth organs are almost exclusively found in freshwater fish. Saltwater fish can breathe air, but typically use modified gills, skin, or swim bladders rather than a labyrinth organ. There you go. Asked
Yep.
and answered.
So maybe my theory was correct.
Could be. That one's directed at Stephen. Labyrinth organs are only found in the freshwater. Yep, there you go. 6 agrees. I got a 10-inch biker at auction for $3 once. It depends on the show, on who shows up. Yeah, I gave monster fish gal. Yeah, Jesus, Lori. I gave her the one that I was going to give to you, Ed. And that thing was at least 10 to 12 inches long. I didn't measure it, but I know 10 inches when I see it.
I probably could have kept it with these rainbows because they're so fast and everything. And
although he was a killer.
Saddle, he was or wasn't?
The ornate was a killer.
It was an ornate.
Yeah. Well, no, I had the Delhaize too. I had 2 of them. I gave them both to her. The swap is first weekend of next month. There you go.
The swap is the first weekend of next month.
Well, it's probably the last one too, if they are anything like the ones up here, because like tomorrow is the Quad City swap, and that's going to be the last one for a while. GCCA is done for a while until fall.
See, I've got all these stupid weddings going on too in my life. My mom went to her second wedding shower today. She went to Gabby's last week, and it was Bruce's wife's or future fiance this week.
So Select Pet says swaps in the Tennessee, Kentucky area, April 18th in Richmond, Kentucky. First Saturday in May, Nashville. Second Saturday in May, Knoxville. So you guys go later, obviously, with the warmer weather. They quit up here.
Oh, we have them in the summer even. We have them all year round, it seems like.
Yeah,
we have so many. I think Atlanta, if Uncle Smiley's here, I think Atlanta's in August. But
now they pick back up again in like September, October, November, somewhere in there. There's Anna Banana. Hi, everyone. Been lurking?
Hiya. Well,
we miss you too.
I mean, I know for sure I'll be able to get to probably Nashville, but I don't know about the other ones now. It's going to be a really weird month for me this month for streaming and everything.
Yeah.
With all the family stuff going on. Next
then he says,
week, I'm
June,
pretty sure we'll have a show, but the Bluegrass Bash. Yep.
Yep. I'll be going to
everybody
that one.
Who's anybody. Yep. Everybody that's cool is going to be there.
I just got to talk Jeremy into coming down so we can pal around.
Wouldn't that be fun, Jeremy?
If you swing by and pick me up, Whip, I'll go.
Or
well, I can't do that, but I can do you the same favor you did for me, and you can crash in my room at no cost.
Jeremy, you could go to GI Joe Fest with me in Augusta, Georgia. It won't be as
he'll be
cold
right on that
in Georgia.
Get my very first GI Joe. Actually, I
Heck
have it
yeah.
back when I was a kid.
Hey, Emma. I'm live almost every Saturday at 8 o'clock Central. Almost. Unless life happens. I missed last Saturday because we were with my daughter. Actually, last Saturday, Mrs. Whip and I celebrated 34 years of marriage. 34 years!
Oh my God.
Actually, if I'd have
That's
thought about it
amazing.
before
We
we
were
sold
married
my
at
parents' house,
7 years old.
Should let Ed get into the basement there. There was boxes and boxes full of toys from the 70s, you know.
That would have been awesome. But instead, you probably just threw them away. So what'd you do with them?
Whoever we sold a house to a company that, you know, fixed them up and everything, you know.
So they threw it away. Oh, that's depressing.
Whatever they did with it, yeah, I don't know. To Milwaukee tomorrow.
Oh, I finally cut it.
He'll buy you lunch instead of Whip. Bring Ed and make a day of it.
That's actually one of I sometimes envy like the fish tube channels in Europe where like their entire country is like the size of Virginia or something. So it's like
right.
anyone could actually go see anyone at any given time. It's like 5 hours.
Nancy says June is not cold. You mean GI Joe Fest won't be as cool as the Bash? Nope. Not even close.
No, it'll be awesomer.
Lurk mode activated. Have fun, Shirley. I know you're doing some maintenance.
You can still listen and just not participate.
I've been married longer than Emma's been drawing breath. How about that?
I wish I was 33, Emma.
I was kind of looking at chat, looking for Mrs. Whip to give confirmation on the 10-inch statement from earlier.
She knows better.
Silence speaks quite a bit.
Silence. I'm only 27. Holy cow, you're just a baby.
I still wish I was.
I got
in my
underwear
30s.
that's older than you. Lurk mode reactivated. She had to come in and
Yeah, Ed pretty much defined lurk mode without saying lurk mode. So
yeah.
That's what it means.
Damn, Whip.
Oh, she's not speaking any evil.
No evil spoken.
I really hate it when you have a pair of underwear that you really love, but the elastic is so old it won't stay up anymore, and then you have to throw it away.
Yeah, I don't usually keep them that long. I probably actually, if we're being truthful, I change my stuff out pretty regular just because it seems like whites don't stay white, you know? I like white.
So, Okay.
Silence.
We just learned more. We learned more about Whip than we wanted to know. Hey,
Damn.
there's nothing the matter with being a tidy whitey guy.
28 people just left the stream. What the hell?
Yeah, right. It's amazing.
Homer Simpson's a tidy whitey guy too.
He is. Should be doing maintenance, but I'm lazy. Yeah. Don't let that take over because once you kind of give it up, it's like hard to rekindle. Hell, I can't wear underwear. I do not like them. Well, all right.
Commando.
So
Too much
there's his first
information.
modification. This way he can see the fish real good.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that needs to go to Jeff Pelham if you ever do a Jeff Pelham figure. He's got the giant eyeglass all the time so he can read.
So it's funny. Like a few days ago, I was getting ready to go to bed, but I caught on a late stream. It was Rack was on with Jeff Pelham, right? And Rack was talking to him about his new mic, how it blocked out all the sound of all the fish room behind him, all the bubbles and stuff, which apparently I guess was normally pretty loud. And then yesterday I caught another Jeff Pelham stream, and you can hear all the fish stuff again. It's like,
yeah, I didn't like that. I like to be able to hear.
Yeah, like
all the fish things.
Reverted back. I was like, the
heck? Just out of curiosity, can you hear the cacophony of waterworks going on behind me? Is it prevalent?
No, we don't hear anything.
Good. And that's with just a computer, the PC microphone. I didn't even have to buy one of them fancy ones.
Did you hear any of these people behind me chattering with each other?
Nope, I cannot hear anything from you guys.
So it's
good. Jeff can be aggressively bubbly. Yes, he can. Sharon says she can't hear anything.
Yeah, no, I was right with Rack. I was like, oh yeah, because I do remember a couple times checking that stream out, and it was kind of over the top with the bubble stuff,
Are you talking Rack or are you talking Pelham?
Pelham had too much sound in the background, drowning him out. And then Rack was right by saying, hey, this new mic you got is making a big difference. This is a lot better. You know what I mean?
Right. So he
then
immediately
later, I go back and it's reverted back to the bubbles again. I'm like, I guess Jeff was just like, I don't know what this Rack guy's talking about. People love the bubbles.
Zenny's like, I do not like hearing the bubbles. Just don't sit by the sponge filter when you're live stream, people. For God's sake. My problem right now is I've let a couple of the tanks get a little low. So I've got, not only do I have the bubbles coming up, but I got the water going in. So it's.
I mean, most of the modern stuff's got pretty good noise canceling, background noise canceling.
Yeah, it must, because I mean, there's quite a few.
Jeff had it for one day. I guess he disabled it or something. I don't know.
Well, something probably happened, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, I was assuming that, Zenny, just because everybody that did answer said they can't hear it, so no worries. But yeah, I mean, and some of them, like my 50 Lowboy, only has that one Nano shark on it, so it doesn't make a sound. It's the only tank I have that only has one filtration method on it. And that's only because there's nowhere to put it, anything. I don't know what I asked Jason how because it came from Jason when he tore down his fish room. And he said he had a hang on the backs on it. I'm like, damn, I mean, you either broke the intake tube off or, I mean, I don't know. Because everything I have would like get pushed up and it'd be, it wouldn't go all the way wouldn't snap in. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. It was your comment that I'm like, okay, Scotty, you're gonna have to hit the mute. Because there were several people before you, and I'm like, it's only a couple people. Oh, geez, now Zenny's. Yep, we're gonna have to do something about it.
Yeah, I was getting worried though because he was the only guy that knew about those type of fish, and it was going to be a tough stream to talk about killifish without your expert.
Right.
But you know what? It worked pretty good. We could have said, "Well, this killifish is blue and red." This one is brown with white spots and yellow.
So Skip says, the other Skip, Zenny was losing it over the road noise. Nancy says, I'm going to send Zen a white noise machine, and the only sound will be a sponge filter. That's just mean. Emma says, I have tinnitus, so I hear stuff even when I don't hear stuff.
I have a heart that
yeah, right, because you
ticks
got
like a
tick,
clock.
tick, tick, tick. Yeah.
And I mean, I can hear it right now ticking, and I have to have like a thunderstorm going, but it can't have the same rhythm. You know, it's got to be just chaos. So it breaks the ticking up, or otherwise I just sit in bed and
That's right. That's right, Nancy. I know where my bread is buttered. The mod of mods. It was causing so much noise and echo, and it was so bad for anyone with hearing sensitivity. That was probably why it didn't bother me so much, is because I didn't have it's just a computer, speaker system. It's not like it's got.
It depends on what I'm on. Like in the basement, I have like a Bluetooth speaker system, like in all the different rooms of the fish room, so I can move around doing stuff and hear whatever I'm listening to, right? Well, there's like a sub part of that system, and some people, if they got the crazy thing going and the sub picks it up, it's unlistenable,
Right.
It'll just take that one sound and make it crazy.
I have troubles with StreamYard alone. Like, I can't hear a lot of stuff that's on StreamYard that everybody else can hear, because it's like it mutes people. Like almost every time I have Foxy on or Peplin, I can only hear every other word they say. I don't understand, and it's only on my StreamYard. It's been that way for years.
Jeremy, his mouth is moving, but do you hear anything he's saying?
You're talking about?
I can't hear anything.
Ed was rhyming just now.
Yeah, Ed. I don't know what Ed's doing, but I can't hear him.
I was waiting for the punchline. There's going to be some sort of.
Oh well. It must be my sound.
Oh, hey,
Ed. Nancy, I'm going to keep what I'm sending back. A secret for funsies.
I'm trying to remember who it was. Someone last week had the smoke detector thing going off on their live stream like the whole time.
Oh, that was probably Jeff too. He has the occasional beep in the background.
That drives me nuts.
Yeah,
I can't live in a house like that.
Once I heard and got focused on it, I couldn't not focus on it, and I had to stop.
Yeah, I have a hard time hearing Kalish also for some reason.
Oh, really? Well, she doesn't always talk either. I mean, she mutes her mic and everything because she's got a ton of crap going on, because it's still early where she's at. It's like 5 o'clock when we start playing. There's still life happening in her home.
Yeah, but I talk over her a lot because I can't hear her, and I feel bad.
And then you got Rack over here going, "Hey, Rack, let's talk about killifish. Here's a gulper catfish."
Yep.
Oh,
well, I figured I could talk about gulpers for a long time.
You've got a little bit of something everywhere.
The face that we got
that time,
Scotty,
you actually did drop off. I actually didn't hear you.
Oh, nuts! The face we got on Scotty though when I popped that gulper fish was worth it. He was so excited about all the killies, and I put a gulper on there, and he went,
"What is that?"
You disrespected the killie conversation, Ed.
Oh man. Well, I mean, can you think of a bigger killie fish than a gulper fish?
Because it does kill you a lot.
It kills
To
everything.
Zen's credit,
that
it did
hit.
sound pretty bad. I contemplated leaving the stream too. Oh, really? You're talking about end
Oh,
stream?
sorry.
Yeah. Well, we fixed it. We fixed it.
It was, and he didn't know that
Mostly.
he was going to have to stay at work for 45 minutes extra. He was planning on being at home at 10:15 before the stream started.
Mildly unbearable.
I think Scotty stayed late on purpose just so he could drive home and create a bunch of crap audio to piss everyone off.
Right?
Just to
that
ruin
guy
my
is.
show.
Yeah, he'll do that, man. I'm telling you. He looks all innocent and stuff, but he'll do that crap.
Emma says, I hate noise when I want it to be quiet. Like if I'm in bed and trying to sleep, if my water is too low and I hear the filter, I have to go and plug it. Oh my, well, that's not good. You shouldn't be unplugging your filter. Sounds like Ed just tunes people out. Yeah. Scotty's here to defend himself. I am still behind, but I want to make it known that I asked multiple times backstage if the sound was okay and if I needed to mute, and everybody said it was fine. Yes, and I actually said that when you get to, I said it's okay, but it did get steadily worse. Even Killer Kitty, I think on a group text, she said it is getting steadily worse. And,
oh yeah,
and she's as positive as anybody you'll ever meet.
She said that on the Dungeons and Dragons chat group.
Yeah.
Don't mess with Killer.
Hey, in fact, look at that. There she is. Speak of the devil. I spoke her into being.
Let's see if we can get anybody else to join the stream. Hey, Chris, what you doing?
He's already here. He's here.
Oh, I didn't know that. Darn.
Kalish. We got to talk about Kalish. Maybe she'll show up.
Oh, I mentioned her earlier. I just couldn't hear her.
I don't think I could handle that for long. Yeah, that's a rough one.
But hey, Scotty, thanks for coming up, though. We had a great time Thursday.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I had a fun time.
And you knew stuff that we would never have known. I mean, maybe if Doc hadn't been down, with the back thing or the broken tank thing, I think it was just a broken tank thing at that point. He knows stuff about killifish, I'm sure, but I don't know anything about them. I know they're jumpers. That's what I know about them. Emma says it depends on my mood. If I'm well rested and prepared, I can take a noisy room, but sometimes I get overstimulated and I have to cover my ears and leave the room for a bit. I'm like that with just people in general. Sometimes if it gets too people-y in any one room, I have to leave. She said, I was trying. Yep, you were. I just didn't see it until after the fact because I wasn't monitoring my phone.
Killer, you're one good dude.
My friend won her boxing match tonight. Sorry, I'm late.
Oh, yeah. Did you see that I'm going to share a photo from her boxing match. I hope it's okay. Oh, Rack sent a video 28 minutes ago, but I'll check that out in a minute.
Like an actual friend, Kitty, or just somebody you follow?
See, look. She was at like MMA fighting or something.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Yep. Oh, I was too slow.
She was close enough. She could have got blood on herself. I hope you did, or some sweat.
And yeah, right. And I honestly, because I'm only listening on a laptop, I didn't think it was that bad. But when like multiple people are saying it's bad, and then your moderator is like, yeah, it's bad. Yeah, I'm like, okay. we got to do something.
Oh,
I have two teenage daughters that I live a constant state of overstimulated. Yes.
These are Rack's new tuxedo guppies.
Oh, nice. Are those
It's
the ones
only
that Doc
12
sent him?
seconds. Oh, I don't know.
Probably not.
But the tuxedos that I made have like a whitish blue tail, like a powder blue
Oh,
tail
an
with a
actual friend.
black body.
April Klein has been her bestie for decades.
So don't get into a fight with Killer Kitty or her friend will beat you up.
Yeah, Skip, I don't know what the heck was going on there. Somebody, people like that just really need to be kicked out of streams.
I'm still reading about the hockey game.
Oh, do you want me to put it back?
No, I'm reading it on this side.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't understand it. I like hockey.
I do too. I was at a hockey game last night and I couldn't hear what they were saying, but I could watch them and then watch chat. And I threw a couple super chats in and I bought a couple memberships. Ugh.
I've got a really weird thing going on with my YouTube. Every time I go to buy a 99-cent or like a $1.49 super sticker, because I like to poop on Kenny and Danny's show and give a piece of cake on yep, good job. And I like to give a cake on the Hot Mess Express after the birthday show. It keeps switching over to a $50 one. I hit send, and then it says, "Are you sure you want to spend this $50 for it?" And then I say
like,
no, and I do it over. It keeps popping the stupid $50 one.
You can do it one time. I want to hear 50 poops in a row from Danny.
She might die.
Well, it's like a robot or something for $50. So I don't know if she would.
Zen,
I think you
and
gotta
that's why
drop
God knew
50 poop.
what he was doing when he made me infertile. I couldn't do it. Oh, she's talking about Zenny had said she's got two teenagers in a constant state of overstimulation. Did Rack get Tux guppies for pond?
No, I
season?
doubt it. His pond has giant-sized koi.
Let's wait and see.
His koi are like
Yeah, but
this
he might
big.
have tubs.
He might.
I think my exact were make it stop. But I meant it in the nicest way possible.
Rack is so nice.
I felt your pain through the chat, Zen.
Last time I saw Rack, he gave me tomatoes he grew to give to my dad and my mom and dad. And they were a lot better than the tomatoes we had. We were having a bad year of tomatoes even, but he had giant ones.
He hasn't said it yet, but I think sometime in the future, Rack's going to tell me he's going to build that giant Aztec thing that you and I have talked about, Ed, where the fish can swim through, I feel like that's coming.
Oh.
And I'm going to be very thankful when he does that, because that'd be very nice.
Yeah, that'd be nice
to do that.
I think Rack should definitely do that for you. I think he's already in the works. He's probably got it done by now.
Yeah, he probably wants to surprise,
Yeah,
he's probably building a giant kiln to do it.
Yeah,
because you
Kitty,
can
he
like
had
make
somebody do it.
that you can walk into.
If you're familiar with Aquascape, they have multiple, probably dozens and dozens of certified contractors, and he hired one of their certified contractors. Because
I can try to find it.
It's not a little one. It's not like something you would dig a hole and put some rocks in.
And he had a natural slope in his backyard away from the house, so they could do the thing.
Yep. Mine's just the opposite. His slopes towards his house, mine slopes down.
Yeah, the thing cheeses thing got me. That actually made me laugh. I'm whittling the model while lurking.
Who's whittling?
Rack.
Oh, nice.
My tuxedos are black with red tails and head, blue gills, and drop fins. I can give Whip some if not fed to his fish. Um, if they're guppies, I do not want them. I do not want them. I don't want the ones I have.
Looks like I can't make any promises on that.
Yeah.
They may get fed.
I
Are you still
had-
liking your flower horn, Whip?
am I what?
You still liking your flower horn? Enjoying your flower horn?
I do it. That little shit is personable as any fish I've ever had, including Oscars. Which up until I got that one, I thought nothing could even come close to an Oscar for personality, and it's close. I mean, it's right there with it. I mean, it doesn't, like an Oscar doesn't actively want me dead. Like the flower horn, I'm sure if she could figure out a way to end my life, she would definitely climb out of the tank and do it, because she is very aggressive. But I mean, she is right there. She'll follow me, everywhere I go.
There's some of
There it is.
his pond.
Look
He
at
has
that
a really neat
long stream. Yeah,
Plants are probably all grown in now, right? If that was at
yeah,
the
I'm
beginning.
sure. I
This
don't know
was
how
3
old that
years
is.
ago.
Yeah, it's probably looking great. Hey, Tiffany Clark. Hello, hello.
They always look so much more natural.
I do.
with frozen.
It's not big. It's a female, so it stayed fairly small. It's like 5 to 6 inches. I don't know, about like that maybe. She's small. She's in a 90 all by herself, destroying every plant I have in there that's fake.
Did you ever see that video where the Cichlid Bros went to somebody's house in the Chicago area? The dude had nothing but flower horns, like dozens of them.
I don't watch them, believe it or not.
Hmm.
I need to fix that, because everybody I've talked to said they're pretty cool. They're not pretentious or anything.
Yeah, I think
Which,
if the
You
topic lines
talked to me. I never said anything about them.
About Cichlid Brothers.
Yeah, I've never seen them. I have no idea
No.
who they are.
But they're not your thing, so that makes more sense for me. I dig cichlids, so you would think I would gravitate to them, but I have not.
Well, I have more
They're in
cichlids
your
than I do
area, too.
jellyfish.
They're Chicago area too.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I don't know if they're like I'm losing light in Chicago, or just in like one of the suburbs, or like,
They're in the burbs. Yeah.
because people outside of Illinois basically just call Illinois Chicago. I mean, you could live 200 miles away and you're still from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're from
was me.
Chicago. No, I'm really not. Well, I think those female horns can be mean. Yeah, well, she's definitely aggressive. I don't know. I try not to. I do screw up every now and again. I don't call them mean. They're hyper aggressive.
Women?
No, well, the female flower horns, or any fish, or dog, or cat, or anything. They are what they are. Just some are more aggressive than others. I'm one of the Cichlid brothers. I'm at one of the Cichlid brothers. What? He was so
That's
cool. He
awesome.
looked familiar. I don't know who he was I didn't know who he was at first, and we talked for like 10 minutes about some fish at the Milwaukee Swamp. Very nice. Yeah, one of these days I'm going to have to start watching their stuff just so I can get familiar. One of them could probably trip and fall on me, and I wouldn't know who he was.
Do you think they're that big?
I have no idea. Big Steve, what kind of plans?
Location. It was almost like by Fort Meade. It's like Maryland's a small state, but it's a goofy shaped state. It's like you could be. I thought about going over there one of those, but it's kind of far, but it's doable. But for sure it's doable. Not that far.
Right.
I was hoping it was closer.
Aquamarine in Knoxville has beautiful arowana whip. If you ever get over there, I will eventually. And there have been some nice ones at the swaps. Even there was a black arowana at the last one. I almost bought it just to buy it, and then I'm like, nah, what am I going to do with it? I don't know if it would get along with the one I got. The one I got is bent, but I mean, just because something's broke, you don't throw it away, right? So
I haven't seen I haven't been to Aquamarine in a while. I need to go see how Kenny's doing. He's an awesome guy. And they have a lot of great fish there.
how do you guys do with stem plants? Do you guys have any luck with stem plants? Big Steve has like 14 bags of them in the swap tomorrow. I have never had. I mean, I don't have that good of luck with any of them, to be honest with you. But stem plants in particular, they do horrible.
Well, with the stem plants, when I buy them, I don't plant them right away or they just rot. So I let them float and then root at the, where they've been cut before you ever attempt to try to bury them.
Yeah, I tried that too.
It's like a dead deal.
It just rotted right at the above the roots. And
Yep.
they just broke off and started floating again. I'm like, what the shit?
When I had them with CO2,
Yeah,
no problem. Without CO2, they never done good for me.
You say that again?
Stem plants, I had it with CO2, no problem. They did good. When I run them without CO2, they never worked too well for me. Actually, Steve's gonna be confused. I thought your guys were up off Pulaski Highway, like northeast of Baltimore. House of Tropicals in Glen Burnie. It's on the whole opposite side of the city in the south.
I don't even bury them. I put a weight on them and just let the roots go into the soil on their own once I've floated them. But it's like as soon as you bury them, they die.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens to me every single time. And I always just blame it on the water, but maybe they're just not meant to be planted.
Just those little metal floater deal or sinkers. They're super soft and you can just wrap it and drop it. That's what I do with the Kambumba, and it goes crazy in my water. I've never got hornwort to grow.
There's aggressive and then there's vindictive and mean. The one we had at the shop was mean. Bit fang.
That's why I'm terrified of girls.
Big fang biter. She has bit me once, but she was still small at the time, and it wasn't like she was trying to bite me. I don't think. I was feeding her, and I had my hand too close to the surface of the water, and she came out to get the food and nailed me instead. Or maybe she was trying to
scare factor. Will they actually be able to hurt you if they bite you, or is it just a scare factor?
I don't know. I did hear they have teeth, so
I didn't realize that. I didn't think they did.
Don't take that to the bank because I don't know.
I've had little saltwater clownfish that can draw blood with their little teeth, so it doesn't take a huge amount to. I mean, it's like a prick, but still. I wouldn't say it hurts, but it doesn't feel good either. It's definitely
right, and it's more shocking than anything, right? I mean, it spooks you a little bit. I mean, I've jerked my hand out of there so fast that you'd think it was nothing but a 10 on the pain factor scale, but I'm like, it really didn't hurt. It was just the fact that it got me when I wasn't paying attention, and my fear reaction pulled my hand out of there like it was on fire.
It's the mentality behind looking at something going, there's that thing that's 30 times bigger than me. I'm going to attack that motherfucker.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that giant blob.
Live. What part of the country are you in, Skip Do?
I think he's in Milwaukee area.
Okay.
Ed, he is so nice. They are starting a yard behind the store for pond plants and have water hyacinth.
hyacinth. That maybe I can see it. I'd rather buy my water hyacinth from him. I'll call Kenny up and ask. And I'll wear his shirt, and he's given me a couple of his shirts. I should wear them on screen more because I know that's why he gives them to me. And maybe I'll do a live stream from his place. I'll see if he's always wants advertising.
Is he the one that's next to the Mexican burrito place?
Yes, right. Isn't he the one where? Is he the one that put on the big show, and then the guy didn't want? He was.
No, that's Rob. Rob is in Chattanooga, and Kenny Parrott, he's in Knoxville.
No, but didn't the Knoxville guy have put on the show? And there was like a conflict on the parking lot because the one restaurant didn't want.
No,
people.
that was a fish swap in Tennessee or in Chattanooga.
Oh,
That the Mexican dude. That was the restaurant I took you to that looked like a disco.
Yeah,
a Mexican disco.
Oh,
It's called
we supported
Spanglish.
that guy after he was a jerk.
Well, afterwards he's become a lot nicer. That was when Rob had just moved in, and he thought that Rob was stealing all of his water because his water bills were so high. He thought Rob was taking all the water for his tanks, and it turned out he had running toilets.
Oh,
So at the time he hated Rob because of that, and then he found out that it was his own ignorance.
his own issue.
Yeah, but no, Kenny is up by. He used to live really close to James, or his shop was near James. There's a Walmart right there and a discount. There's actually a discount tire place in front of his store that makes it hard to see from the main drag. It's kind of annoying.
Mm-hmm. Tiffany says her Oscar likes to bite her. I had an Oscar draw blood on me once. My very first Oscar that I had for a long time, like 12 to 15 years. I had that thing. It survived horrible treatment by me because that was back in the late 80s, and I didn't know squat about water changes or any of that stuff. I just, I didn't know about the cycle. I didn't know nothing. I knew nothing. I just put water in a tank and put the fish in the tank. Then I left for college. I don't even know how it lived through, the months I was gone. I don't think my parents were feeding them. I came back every once in a while and threw food in there. But it lived forever. But it definitely held a grudge because once I was home for a while, if I put my hand in that thing, that son of a gun would bite me hard. Killer Kitty says I bought Kabumba from Aquatic Marine. I thought it was pretty. I've never seen it before.
Yeah. What? That's it. It's called Kabumba, Carolina, because I think it should be all around where. Oh no, she lives way north. I don't know if it is that far north.
Big Steve's first exit.
That's a
Park
native
Horn. Got
plant.
it.
Killer, that's a native plant.
Is it? It's native to you guys?
Yep.
And Emma says that it definitely has teeth. Drew blood more than once. Hey, there's flowers with horns right there. There's the expert on the flower horn. I love flower horns. I've had friends, Oscar, slap the water and scare me. I couldn't imagine getting bit. Yeah, they like the one time it happened to me, it didn't just like nip me and then swim away. It grabbed me and held me. And I almost came out, it was like half out of the water before it left to go. I mean, it all happened really fast. So it wasn't like it was, I wasn't dangling or going, let it go. But I remember seeing it come out of the water and then falling back in. Flower horns have teeth, more jagged teeth. more scares you than anything, Kitty, but he is only half grown.
That one time I was working on the 3000, I had my hand over the tank and I was looking down and I was like, oh, all the fish are watching me. And then one of the bass came up and hit the side of my hand, like, because it's just sort of above the water line.
Right.
And it wasn't that it was a bite. It's just, it was so big and it hit it so hard. It just felt like somebody hit you with a hammer or something. It was just like,
hey, you son of a gun.
well, and then I was still had to finish doing whatever it was I was doing. And I did it like in paranoia, like trying to shield myself from them, my elbow.
I can tell when he's going to do it because he gets close and stares at my hand. Yeah, that's what mine does. That she'll come up to you and like in a threatening manner. They just have that stance, even though they're not standing. So I attack her without. Yeah, I don't actually hit her or nothing, but I rush my hand towards her, and then she's like, "Oh, Jesus." My jack will bite me and spits water at me if I feed other things first. Jeez.
I had a goldfish that used to spit water at me when I'd walk by his tank.
They are, but I don't know. I think they're pretty tough. They can handle it, but they act like it's the worst thing in the world. Like they'll pout at the bottom of the tank for a while. But I don't think I've ever lost an Oscar like I have little fish. Little fish, if the parameters change too fast, they just don't do well.
Is you asking what the action figure is that I got for
No,
his body?
he was asking Killer Kitty if her avatar is the Sailor Moon.
Oh.
I had piranhas in the 90s, and I got bit once.
Is this
yeah, if James was still here, he
normal
could tell you
guy?
about that. I don't know what you're showing us.
Well, I was asking you if this is even like a cool guy, or did I get him a goofy guy? They had a bunch of them to choose from.
Something.
See, now
James had
for me,
such a bad cut.
Oh man, he got nailed.
You could see his ligaments in his hand. He healed on his own. I couldn't believe it. Oh my gosh. You can ask Zen. Man, we were begging him to go to the hospital.
Oh, he did it live on TV? Live on YouTube?
No, he did it live on TikTok. He was going to do 30 days of putting his hand in his fish tank with piranhas to prove that piranhas were nice. And he did this live stream every day on TikTok. And he stuck his hand in there on the 5th day, and he didn't realize that some of them were,
didn't even get 5
they were in mating behavior. And yeah.
You said he let it heal on its own, so it's healed, but can he bend his finger and stuff, or is it all just like?
Yeah, it just took like a quarter-size bite of skin, like a perfect circle of skin. I've got photos. Let's see if I have it in my favorites. I don't have it as a favorite, and it happened so many years ago. Now I have to figure out.
Yeah, that's right.
See if
Emma.
I think the information
Ed
was looking for was back there.
I do love me some anime. I am not an anime fan.
Oh my gosh, there's an awesome anime live action one called The One Piece, and it is really weird, but I really like it. On YouTube.
Yeah, I've never had any draw to that particular. Shirley says my Oscar threw herself against the lid of the tank over and over because we passed her tank without giving her worm from the worm container we had. Yeah, they do get food aggressive.
There's one of my plecos I made.
Yeah, it is.
It's about a foot long. This was the winner that year. It got first place. My Jack Dempsey.
Yep. Tiffany's
I'm only
Oscar, it comes at her like it's like a rooster. If you come after the rooster, it's on. It's on. Yes, and she seriously has an attitude. Day 30, only shrimp, only a stump. And you says
There's
it's a
my-
cool robot. It's a cool one.
Oh, good. There's my first try at the Clash for a 3D art or sculpture. It was a pack of clown loaches.
I see it's on the art table.
Yeah. But I lost that year because they didn't have a 3D art thing. So they just put it in as painting.
Emma says, nope, no thank you. Don't want any flesh-eating fishies.
I got to be getting close to his hand.
One Piece, the anime has like over 1,000 episodes. One Piece. Is that a typo? I don't know what that means.
No.
Anyone who
One
doesn't
Piece
like
is the
anime just
anime.
hasn't found the anime for them. Oh, cool.
It was true. I like the live action anime, and I like I don't know what it's called. Never mind.
Imagine
Something
trying to
goat.
catch up on one of those series. All right, 1,000 episodes to go, so I can get to the.
Right. Yeah. I'm not a huge cartoon fan anyway, so that's why I was kind of disappointed that a Firefly coming back as a toon is,
I like
that's
it better.
disappointing.
I
don't
like
know
it because
why,
then
but I
you won't
think
see him
Whip
look old.
would like Demon Slayer. All right, I think we've fallen off the rails enough.
Oh, I'm almost to his hand. Talk about something cool for 3 minutes. Somebody ask an important question.
Good night, Killer Kitty. Going to bed.
Night,
Me
Killer.
too. Maybe I'll just let Ed end the stream.
Ah! Oh, I hope I didn't just pass it up. Keep thinking about positive things. How do you prepare your water for your saltwater tanks,
Anime is not Disney.
Jeremy?
I would rather watch Disney.
I live near the ocean. I just have a big hose, just pump it in.
Yeah, but
My
what
kids
about
do
the
not
salt
appreciate
salinity?
me for referring to anime as cartoons. What else would it be? Anime is a type of cartoon, right?
I love cartoons.
Asking an important question. There was a question right there. Whip, you're just denying yourself. That's not a question. The pleasure of childhood. Cartoons heal the inner child. If I'm going to watch a cartoon, it's usually like I will watch The Hobbit, the 77, 78
That's a really
animated version.
weird one.
No, not Lord of the Rings. I like The Hobbit. Lord of the Rings is weird. They like use real people and cartoons and just weird all the way around. I will watch that one, but other than that, other than Disney, where I feel like I'm watching actual people sometimes, even if they're fish. What was your favorite killifish from Hillstream? I didn't really have one. And even if I did, I couldn't tell you because I don't remember what their names were.
I don't have my piece of paper here to read it. I could try to find his highest score. If you
Well,
could
then
have
you
me
don't
do a
agree. You
killer,
disagree.
if you could do a fish versus fish, what would you pick, Whip?
Fish versus fish. I would do South American cichlids versus South American cichlids.
What about South Americans versus Africans?
Civil War, South America.
Oh, that's I don't know enough about Africans to be able to form an opinion. I am just after however many years it's been, 45 years. I am just my first African tank is right behind me here.
I've got to be so close to it. I can't believe I'm.
Ralph Bashke. Yes, and it was they were kind of surreal. I don't know. They were just
I mean, the Lord of the Rings.
I feel like you could get into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
good
back
stuff.
in the 80s and 90s, maybe when I was a kid. I like to watch Disney
like the Turtles.
JR all the time. What's JR? I should know that, but I don't know what Disney JR is. It was all I watched in the hospital. The nurses thought it was cute.
You
It
know
was a
what's
great
really cool about the
soundtrack,
biggest
really.
hospital in St. Louis? They have a channel that's nothing but fish tanks, and they try to get all their doctors to have a fish tank in their office. And then they put cameras on it and they rotate them every 5 minutes, a different one on the live feed. So you can watch their live fish from all the different places.
Yeah.
It's at Barnes Hospital in St. Louis.
Tiff, I haven't seen Plague Dogs, but Watership Down, that was the first cartoon where I was like, damn, that is gruesome. I mean, they were, cartoons for me back then were happy, happy, joy, joy, kind of stuff. And Watership Down, it's just rabbits killing rabbits and getting run over by trains and dogs tearing apart rabbit. I'm like, oh my god, what's going on?
That sounds is that a cartoon?
Yeah, it was a movie, animated movie back in like 79, 78, 79. Watership Down. And it's two rabbit factions that are up against each other.
Here's James and I as the first photo for the Tennessee Fish Mafia.
Yeah, there you go. James
So I
needed to
gotta
work
be
on his
getting.
outfit a little bit.
Well, it's hot in Tennessee. Found my mom's broken arm. It's got to be here.
Africans are not as popular as they were 5 years ago. That's for sure. Yeah, people are really struggling here in Chicago trying to get them sold. So, Tiff,
Yeah.
you do like the Lord of the Rings one. I thought it was so weird. I don't know, but maybe it's because back then, nobody was doing the weird animation over top of like actual live footage, not live, but real people. Not that I remember anyway.
Well, I'm almost to the bottom. Maybe I missed it.
Is there a reason why you didn't like it? The graphic violence? That's not for me.
It was the live action over the cartoon that was weird. The live action orcs that were just all solid black. Didn't you find that weird?
Yeah. Secret of Nim. I haven't seen that. So I read the book. The book was really good, but I don't remember the cartoon so much.
Those were awesome. Now I'm looking at pictures from my trip to see Father Fish. It's got to be here somewhere.
Well, we'll just have to save it for the next time. We've gone 2.5 hours. I think that's plenty of time for everybody. That's probably way too much grip time for most of y'all.
Sorry, Whip.
It's all
Let
right.
you down.
You did a little bit, but we'll survive.
I could show you what I looked like when I was a little kid.
Oh, there he is, little Ed.
Yep.
Camp Granola.
Good night, all.
Night, guys. Sorry I've let everybody down.
Yeah, we wanted to see that gore.
The whole stream is ruined now. Damn it.
Oh,
Right?
That was the big crescendo. It all
Hey,
led up to
Sean.
that. You know?
So, all right. Jeremy, you got anything you want to add?
Not a
Anything
damn
fun and
thing.
exciting? Nothing. He ain't got nothing for y'all. Ed, you got anything going on?
no, I'm not going to be happy until I find this finger picture.
No, we'll be ended before you do.
Well,
So Ed goes on on Tuesdays on Chris
Oh, yes.
Aquazone's channel for D&D, and he has a Thursday night stream every Thursday at 10:30 Eastern,
found it!
9:30 Central.
Found
And we'll see y'all later.
You took it off.
Let me. All right, so we'll get that up close. Can y'all see that? It might be one of the nastiest. I probably just got demonetized.
No, you can get demonetized for learning. Go back.
Don't put your hand
Oh
in,
my gosh.
in a piranha tank.
They got a perfect quarter-sized finger chunk of his skin. And when he looked in the tank, the skin wasn't anywhere. So one of them ate it.
Yep. He
Saved on fish.
got a little James DNA floating around in his body. I did have Tiff. Okay, I'm getting distracted again. We're gonna go. See y'all later. Have a good night. I'll see you next Saturday, if not before. Bye.
All right.